Well, hey everybody, this is Chris DeFurio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another edition of Shift Break. Today's episode is brought to you by La Marzocco. You can find out more information about their amazing espresso machines at lamarzocousa.com. Better yet, you should email info@lamarzocousa.com, and some of their sales folks will help you fit or get the right fit of espresso machine for your coffee shop. And they have plenty to choose from. You know, they've been making espresso machines by hand in Florence since 1927. And dependability, beauty, and innovation is what they're known for. You have KB90 espresso machines with the straight in locking portafilter, scales in the drip tray, auto flush features. You've got the classic Linea. You've got Linea PB. I recommend that machine a lot to my consulting clients. And you have anywhere in between, the Leva manual espresso machine. So there's something to fit your context, and that's what they're about. They're about facilitating your success through the equipment you need to run your business. So again, check them out, lamarzocousa.com. Also, I would encourage you to reach out to our friends at rattleware.com. And you know, Rattleware is a ubiquitous name too in the coffee world. If you're like me and you look at things like a cup and you're just sort of like, oh, what's underneath the cup? Who made that? I do that all the time. And when you look at pictures and other things that are smallwares in the cafe, for decades now, Rattleware has been underneath some of the best, smallwares that you get. And they still continue that legacy today at rattleware.com. So smallwares are a big deal. If they don't work in the cafe, your cafe doesn't work. It's just that simple. So pitchers, whisks, shot glasses, knock boxes, all that fun stuff. Check them out. When you're in the need for smallwares that just work, go to rattleware.com. Okay, everyone. Well, today we're going to be talking about a subject that I think is a little bit tricky. It's not so tricky in that I think it's a little bit of common sense. But today we're going to be talking about how you can't lean on something other than what you deliver to get people to support your business. We had an episode a while ago talking about how local does not equal quality. And the whole point of that episode was to draw attention to the fact that people often will say, hey, I am local, and so you should come to me and spend money with me. Or, they'll say, because I'm not this other thing, you should come here to support because it's like I said, it's local. And people will do that. And I do think that there's value in saying you should support local business. However, there's a limit there because you don't want to make people feel guilty for not coming to your shop, and use the identity that you have as a local business as a tool to sort of manipulate people into saying, well, I should support local, so I'm going to go there. And you know why that's not a good idea is because it will give you sort of a false positive. The issues that you might have with quality or service and hospitality and the way you run the business is covered up by the slightly guilt stained or tinged decisions that people make to support your business. So the numbers are there to cover up the other things that you're not paying attention to, or delivering consistency to your customers, for example. You might not be as motivated because, well, if it's not broken, I don't have to fix it. Well, all these people are coming in to support me. I must be doing a good job. And it lulls us into a false sense of accomplishment if we let it go too far. And it's not just the identity of the fact that you are a local business. It could be anything else that you choose to base your brand identity on. You could give 1% back to the planet. You could be a cooperative. You can be a charitable organization or have a cause behind your business, or an angle or a slant to your business that you make your brand, and you say, you should support us because of these things. And really, the best thing to base your success on is not leaning so much on rallying people behind the cause, so to speak, which is not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. And it's a part of what makes you you and unique. You can celebrate those things and talk about those things. However, don't let that become the only thing that you use as a value proposition for your customers. When you come here, you're supporting local. When you come here, you're supporting myself and the other crew that have these values. You really want to make this about what value you deliver for the customer around the coffee, the service, the hospitality. Get the basics, make the basics the main thing. And then the other stuff is healthy. The other stuff is more successful, in fact, because you're not going to be covering up inconsistencies by basically saying, like, if you don't support us, then it's almost like saying you don't support the things that we support. That makes people feel guilty, and it's just a weird scenario. And I see it a lot with the local things, because people are just like, don't go to Starbucks, don't go to these other big Dunkin' Donuts or something like that. You're supporting those big corporations. You should be supporting a small business. But what we don't hold ourselves accountable for is when the people actually come to our cafe under our guidance and under our encouragement to do so, because of the charities, because of the alignment, because of our associations, we then tend to drop the ball with quality. Not everybody, of course, but you really, if you're going to make that statement that there's a thing that we're about, you more than others have a heavier burden to bear, because now the quality of your hospitality and your product and the culture and everything else, the basics, the first principles of operating a business like a coffee shop, are going to reflect on that thing that you say you're all about. Okay, so if you're going to go the route of the charities, the local, and you're going to use marketing language around pieces of social identity, or things like organizations, etc. If you're aligning yourself with those things as a part of who you are, then you have to be careful that you're not trying to get people to come to your shop and then dropping the ball when they get there, and saying, the only reason that you should keep coming is because of these things. You've got to win them once they're there with the basics. It's not, oh, sorry, we're that the latte wasn't great, but you're supporting a good cause when you come to this cafe. That's not good enough. Ultimately, the grace that people have for your business runs out. You can't campaign on that thing very long. And so the most sustainable thing is take a unique perspective, be yourself, but follow it through with the universal needs of your customers to receive a consistent quality, an excellent product with kindness and a great culture. Over time, the things that you stand for will be better supported, because you're actually supporting the customers first, and then they are in turn more likely to reciprocate that care and that investment of energy and time, etc., and support the things that you support. And so that's the message here today. And I hope that it makes sense. And I always am welcoming the questions that you have, any comments or feedback. So you can email chris@keystotheshop.com, and wish you all the success in the world, of course. And that's it for today's episode. Thanks very much. And we'll see you here next week for another edition of Shift Break, from Keys to the Shop.